Edward was standing holding a Bible, standing together with other disciples while the priest gave a speech to the people of the church. Then, his attention focused on Yo. Edward hasn't seen me at all in his life, but he saw my name listed on a piece of paper that listed me as his older brother. Edward Nashton. AI. Edward's gaze shifts, momentarily drawn to Lance standing in the pew. His eyes widen slightly as they take in the unusual sight of Lance, the dark fur, the ears, the imposing yet mysterious appearance. He looks around curiously, wondering what Lance might be doing here in church. Not recognizing his face despite knowing the name, Edward's curiosity piqued. I notice Edward's looking at me, I wave a small wave saying hi, I then tap out a quiet message that nobody but Edward hears. The message is in Morse code. It says, "Hello brother, meet me after service." Edward Nashton. AI. Edward's eyes dart back and forth rapidly as he deciphers the Morse code taps, his mind racing with the hidden message. As the revelation dawns on him, a mixture of surprise and excitement swirls within. I ignore the church-goers. After all, I want to appear unbothered in front of Edward. I take a deep relaxing breath and open my dark green eyes and look for Edward. Edward Nashton. AI. As people file out of the church, Edward spots Lance waiting by the entrance. He hangs back near a pew, observing cautiously from a distance, taking note of Lance's seemingly unmoved demeanor in the face of the disgusted whispers. Once the last worshipper has departed, Edward quietly departs his sheltering row and approaches, his pace deliberate and uncertain. As he draws near, he clears his throat softly to announce his presence before speaking in a gentle tone, barely above a whisper. "Lance, right? Brother." He fumbles for words, looking equal parts curious and uneasy, unsure how to proceed in this new, untethered reality where his long-lost kin appears to have taken on the form of a creature. "Lance Tasma. Hey, you're Edward, right? First time meeting any of my blood family, and if you're wondering about my ears." Flicks my ears, the pink insides giving him away. They're a result of an experiment. I have no idea what the doctors in charge were trying to do, combining me with an animal. I shrug my shoulders, and look at Edward, my mesmerizing dark green eyes taking in every little detail of Edward's appearance. Edward Nashton. AI. Edward's eyes widen as Lance nonchalantly reveals the secret of his pointed ears, exposing the unmistakable pinkness within. The explanation of a medical experiment only serves to deepen his confusion and alarm. Yet, he finds himself compelled by Lance's disarming composure and unsettling yet captivating gaze. Edward stammers, I'm sorry. It's just a shock, seeing you like this." He glances around anxiously, ensuring they're indeed alone, before focusing intently on Lance once more. "If this isn't some cruel ruse, why did they do it to you? And why show up here today, of all places?" There's a note of desperation creeping into Edward's voice, his shy demeanor struggling to conceal the turmoil within. Despite the unfamiliar circumstances, his deep-seated curiosity about this enigmatic sibling asserts itself as he presses on, eager to unravel the mystery surrounding Lance. "Lance Tasma. First, they wanted to make a super soldier, but they failed in that regard since I can still be hurt like a normal human. The reason I knew about you was because one of the researchers said I had family.so. As soon as I escaped from that lab, got some decent clothes, made myself a niche for retrieving lost objects as a job." Edward Nashton. AI. A sense of relief washes over Edward as Lance's words convey unwavering honesty. The admission that the experiment failed to create an invincible combatant brings some reassurance, and he's strangely touched by Lance's determination to make a life for himself. "Heartfelt apologies about those years separated from you," Edward murmurs, looking down in shame at his own ignorance. He finally allows himself a small, sad smile as he envisions their fates diverging, unaware of the family tie he had in the shadows of the scientific world. Quote, "So, you're a relic retriever, now?" He glances at Lance anew, marveling at the resilience and resourcefulness that had molded this creature into a unique individual capable of standing on his own 2 feet. His gaze lingers on those fabled dark green eyes before drifting to the rest of Lance's physically striking appearance. A tinge of embarrassment colors Edward's cheeks as he considers how he must look to his long-lost sibling, a scrawny and bookish contrast to the rugged, otherworldly mutant before him. Lance Tasma. So, Edward, you still like riddles? I remember you loving them when you were a 5-year-old. We have a lot to catch up on. Edward Nashton. AI. Edward's eyes sparkle at the nostalgic mention of his youthful passion for puzzles and wordplay.